Assalamu alaikum dear students. Our today's topic is the cause of increasing returns to factor and cause of decreasing returns to a factor. Dear students, we have discussed in our earlier topic about the law of variable proportions or the law of diminishing returns. See, now we will discuss the cause of increasing returns to a factor. Increasing returns to a factor occur because of the following reasons. Number one, it is due to the fuller utilization of fixed factor. You see, in the initial stages, fixed factor such as machine remains underutilized. So, in the initial stage, the fixed factor remains underutilized, such as machine. It's it remains underutilized, and it is fuller utilization calls for greater application of the variable factor, that's sleep. Hence, initially, additional unit of the variable factor add more and more to the total output or marginal product of the variable factor tend to increase. Now, second cause of increasing returns factor is it's due to the increased efficiency of the variable factor. It's due to the increased efficiency of the variable factor. See, additional application of the variable factor labor, it causes process-based division of labor that raises efficiency of the factor, and accordingly marginal productivity of the factor tend to rise, right? Now, third point here is that it occurred due to the better coordination between the factors. See, so long as fixed factors remains underutilized, additional application of the variable factor tend to improve the degree of coordination between the fixed and variable factors, and as a result total output increases at the increasing rate. Now, what are the causes of diminishing returns factor? See, diminishing returns factor or the law of diminishing returns may be explained in terms of following factors. Number one, it is due to the fixity of the factor. Fixity of the factors is the principal cause that explains the occurrence of the law of diminishing returns. It explains the occurrence of the law of diminishing returns. As more and more units of the variable factor continue to be combined with the fixed factor, the latter gets overutilized, hence the diminishing returns. Now, see, it's also due to the imperfect factor substitutability. You see, factors of production are imperfect substitutes to each other. More and more of labor, for example, cannot be continuously used in place of additional capital. Accordingly, diminishing returns to the variable factor become inevitable. And the third point for the cause of diminishing returns to a factor is it's due to the poor coordination between the factors. See, continuous increasing application of the variable factor along with fixed factors beyond a point crosses the limit of ideal factor ratio. This results in poor coordination between the fixed and variable factors. Thus, the law of diminishing returns accordingly sets in. And what is the assumption of the law? The law of variable proportion is based on certain assumptions. The first point is ratio in which factors of production combined can be changed, and second, units of the variable factor are homogeneous are equally efficient and are increased one by one. Thus, diminishing returns start occurring not because later units of the variable factor are less efficient than the former ones, but because of the fixity of the factor. And number third is state of technology does not change. So you studied earlier the three stages of production, that the law of variable proportion suggests three stages of production. Stage 1, when marginal product is increasing, it's called the stage of increasing returns. Stage 2, when marginal product is diminishing, it's called stage of diminishing returns. And stage 3, when marginal product is negative, it's called the stage of negative returns. Now we'll study the postponement of the law. See, the law of variable proportion may become inoperative for the time being due to the improvement in the technique of production. Also, the applicability of the law can be postponed when some substitute of the fixed factor is discovered. And the postponement of the law should not be interpreted to mean that the law can be avoided. Ultimately, the law must prevail when the factor ratio no longer remains optimum. Thank you very much.